Hey everybody, Steve Burns here. So I thought this would be a nice little quick little tip that I'm going to record here. Now if you take a look at my edges on my cube here, you will notice that the points and edges are a little bit thicker than what you would have standard in Blender. So I hit the number 1 key on the keyboard and look at my point size. It's much larger, which makes it a lot easier for me to click and drag on it if I want to manipulate its location. I can also target the edge, hit the number 2 key on my keyboard. You can see that my edge thickness is much thicker than the default 1 point size edge in Blender. Now, how do we change that? We're going to go over here to our edit view. Let's go to my point editing view first. Go to edit. We're going to go to preferences, themes, user interface, drop it down, go toward the bottom, and you're going to see something called 3D viewport. So because we're working in the 3D viewport, we're viewing these options through, again, the 3D viewport. We'll drop that down, and you're going to see various options for coloring or adding color associations with your interface or your objects within your 3D viewport interface. What I'm interested in is going further down the bottom, go past all the color coordinations here, or codings I should say, and right here you're going to see edge width, grease pencil vertex size, or vertex size. You'll notice that mine is 10 points. So if I go to edge width, by default it's 1 point. Okay, and there's, you can see how thin your line is. So this is what you're getting by default in Blender. I wanted it a little thicker, make it easier for me to click on and see. So edge width, I changed mine to 3. Take a look at it, and there it is. It's much thicker. Look at my, now let's take a look at the point size, so the vertex size here. I've got 10 points. I think, if I remember correctly, by default, it's about maybe 3 points. I'm going to go to 3 points here. There we go. So I believe by default, it's about 3 points. There's a tiny little dot there. Sometimes it's hard to see. So I changed my vertex size to 10 points. So vertex size to 10 points, much easier to see. You can go bigger, right? So we can go over here and make it real big, right? Or real small, whatever you prefer. I prefer 10 points. It's a lot easier to grab. All right. You can come in here and play with any of these other options if you like. But once you're done, go ahead and just close this out, and you're all set. Now, once this is all set up, what I prefer is, just as a FYI, let's go here, go back. Let's delete the object out, because every time I start up Blender, I want to make sure that all that stuff is set. Every single time I open it up, everything's going to work according to the way that I like to set the workflow in Blender. File menu, defaults, save startup file, save startup file again, done. Okay, so every time you close out Blender and reopen it again, it will be there. So Control A, mesh, cube, there we go. And let's go ahead and go into edit mode, and there you go. Everything's nice and thick, easy to see. All right, I figured that'll be a nice little helpful tip for the beginning class, just to help you improve your workflow inside of Blender. Steve Burns from ChromaLution.com, and more to come.